If Luka Doncic was in Kyrie's position, does Cleveland get their first championship? Did the Celtics fans turn on Luka the same way they did to Kyrie? Does what happened in Brooklyn still happen? I really don't understand what happened in Brooklyn. Why did that go so bad? And did the Dallas Mavericks still have the same playoff success that they are having right now? Today we find out, as I'll be putting Luka Doncic in Kyrie Irving's shoes. Starting in 2011, Luka Doncic is drafted #1 by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and off rip things aren't looking good. His best teammate, 35-year-old Anton Jamison. Doncic being the only #1 pick the Cavs got besides LeBron, a lot of pressure was put on him his rookie season. But this was one of those scenarios where pressure made a diamond. Luka will put the league on notice, averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. He would end up winning the Rookie of the Year award, showing glimpses of greatness heard around the world, even making the All-NBA third team alongside guys like Russell Westbrook, Rondo, Kevin Love, and Pau Gasol. It was clear he was on a whole nother level. The same could not be said for the Cavs though. However, they will finish 22-60, the second worst team in the East, only behind the 16-66 Pistons team. The same struggles continue in year 2, but individually, Luka was going crazy, making his first All-Star appearance in only year 2, as well as finishing second team All-NBA. Everybody knew if Luka got help, the Cavs would be a problem. And so in the 2013 offseason, the Cavaliers would search for help far and wide to finally be able to get Luka to the playoffs. They did a terrible job. First, my fault, I gotta take you out of the story for a bit. Luka is carrying the team right now. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. I thought everybody else was putting in work. Y'all gonna see why in a minute. I thought Andrew Bynum was going crazy with his 88 overall. No, bro's only averaging 11 points. 9 rebounds is great, but at the same time, no, you the main center. It should be way more than only 9. I thought Jarek Jack might have been going crazy. 81 overall, third best on the team. He gotta be going stupid. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, not going stupid. Maybe Anthony Bennett didn't turn out to be a bust in this timeline. Still a bust. Anderson Varejao? No. Dion Waiters is going crazy though. In only his second year, he already averaging 20. Shout out to Dion Waiters for being our backup, but Luka is carrying the entire load and somehow they first. Now back to the story. Luka leads the Cavs the first with a 62-20 record, helping Nick McCall win Executive of the Year, which he does not deserve this at all. That was just straight Luka magic. The world finally got to see playoff Luka, blowing through the Hawks in round 1, averaging a triple-double, 32, 11, and 11. This made round 2 must-see TV, as the entire world was tuned in to round 2 to see Derrick Rose versus Luka Doncic, and Luka took this personal, as he would show the world that a post-injury D Rose was just not on his level. Packing up the Bulls 4-1, he'd move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, where he'd face a man that he's gonna get to know very well in the next couple of years. Immediately, LeBron would show Luka that he's gonna have to step up his game if he wanted to make it out of the Eastern Conference Finals, holding Doncic to only 15 points while shooting 0 for 4 from 3. Bron and the Heat would dominate game 1. Bron posting the triple-double, 29 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, shooting 4 for 4 from 3. 2K being a little petty there, I like it. Game 2 would sadly be no different, as Luka would only drop 16 points, shooting 1 for 7 from 3. His struggles continuing, and even though Doncic was able to turn it around in game 3, dropping 32 points and 10 rebounds, sadly his team was not able to, still getting blown out 125-109. Going down 3-0 in the series, Luka Doncic and the Cavaliers need to turn it around, or else they made it this far for nothing. And turn it around they did, thanks to a triple-double from Doncic in game 4 and an all-around team effort in game 5. They were able to finally get on the board, making this series 3-2, but sadly in game 6, Luka Doncic will once again go missing, shooting 5 for 20 from the field. Add to that, LeBron putting on a 47-point masterclass, and the Cavaliers get eliminated from the conference finals 4-2. After the conference finals, LeBron and the Heat would lose 4-1 to the Spurs in the finals. LeBron, already having 2 rings with the Heat, was actually watching Luka carry the Cavs the entire season all the way up to the Eastern Conference Finals, and realized that this might be the chance to bring Cleveland home a championship. This new duo of LeBron and Luka, along with the addition of all-star forward Kevin Love, terrorized the league. They would get the nickname of the greatest team of all time after finishing 78-4. Luka having his first MVP season just a year after making his first playoff run, and this time things in the playoffs were different. Now with LeBron by his side, the 2 triple-double machines skipped their way through the playoffs, eventually beating Dirk Nowitzki and Dallas in the finals 4-1, meaning Cleveland gets their first NBA title, and more importantly, Luka Doncic is an NBA champion. The duo of LeBron and Luka would continue to make history, finishing with a 75-7 record the 2015-2016 season. Luka even getting his second MVP, averaging 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, showing that he's clearly the best player in the world. But there was just one team that they could not beat this season. Doncic and the Cavs were gonna have to get over this Warriors hump if they wanted to win another ring for Cleveland. But come on, man, we talking about playoff Bron and playoff Luka. I mean, we not talking about Kyrie and Bron. We not talking about playoff KD. We not talking about playoff Curry even. We talking about playoff LeBron and Luka. They did more than get over the hump. They stomped right on it and flattened the hump. Sweeping the Golden State Warriors, LeBron and Luka bring Cleveland their second NBA title, making Luka a two-time champion, winning back-to-back titles. Will this Cleveland team be able to three-peat and become a dynasty? One thing's for certain, it's not gonna be easy, because over the summer the Warriors acquired Kevin Durant, forming a super team of the likes the league has never seen before. The 2016 finals were gonna be 2 times tougher than the previous finals that Luka had won championships in. Luckily, LeBron, having experience going against and being a part of stacked squads, knew that he was gonna have to step up his game, dropping 49 points in game 1, leading the Cavaliers to the W 122-110, showing the super team Warriors that if they was gonna beat the Cavs in the finals, they was gonna have to bring they all. And in game 2, they did just that. Klay Thompson dropping 48 points, making 10 threes, alongside KD's 31 and Curry's 21 and 10 assists. Golden State ties up the series 1-1. Luka, now understanding that his team is gonna have to play fantastic every game or else they will lose this series, puts on back-to-back 30-point performances in games 3 and 4, alongside back-to-back Bron 40-point triple-doubles. Cavs go up in this series 3-1 and finishes the series in 5 games with a blowout 146-123, bringing the Cavaliers their 3rd championship. So let's get this right. Luka Doncic is a 2-time MVP and a 3-time NBA champion, a part of a dynasty. They just three-peated. But the headlines don't read Luka Doncic and the Cavaliers three-peated. The headlines read LeBron James turns Cavaliers into a dynasty. And I mean, were they wrong? I mean, LeBron is a 5-time champion, won 2 rings in Miami, 3 rings over here, 4-time MVP. He's from Ohio, so they call Cleveland his hometown team. I mean, it's only right to put this man in the front of the headlines. But if you're Luka Doncic and you know that you're the best player in the world, would you want to be under his shadow? Not Luka. So in a shocking turn of events, Luka Doncic goes to Cavs management, demands a trade, and gets sent to Boston for the 2017-2018 season. Now on paper, this team should be great. Tatum, Brown, and Smart, young guys with a bright future. Al Horford, a B-tier center. Gordon Hayward, a hungry dog waiting to be let off of the Jazz chain. And 2-time MVP, 3-time NBA champion Luka Doncic. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you know, Gordon Hayward gets injured in the first game of the season and has to miss the entire season. But I mean, that's only one player off the board though. Surely this team could still do great things, right? Doncic, realizing that it's Cleveland in 2014 all over again, has to put on an electric performance every night, leading Boston to the first team in the East, averaging 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Continues this greatness through the playoffs, making it to the finals for the 4th year in a row. Meanwhile, LeBron and the Cavs had to deal with Giannis's shadow dunking all over them, so we know who won the trade. Now in the finals for the first time without LeBron James by his side, can Luka Doncic overcome the Thunder? Game 1 was a massacre because now with no fellow All-Stars by his side, Luka has to carry the load all by himself. And as we've seen in the past, it takes Luka a little while to get started in the finals. Add to that his team being young, so they don't really have any playoff experience. Most definitely don't have any finals experience. So they would end up shooting an abysmal 5 for 30 from the 3-point line and 32 for 84 from the field. Pretty much shooting themselves out of game 1, going down 1-0 in the series. Luka, understanding now that if he plays bad, they lose every time, goes into game 2 shooting very efficient, 8 for 15 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw. He drops 23 points, but no help from his teammates, leads to another L to the Thunder, 116-91. Down 2-0 with their back against the wall, Luka turns it up to another level in game 3, dropping 38 points, playing 43 minutes. He knocks down 7 threes to lead the Celtics to their first W in this finals, 104-86. Continuing this momentum into game 4 with the Celtics fans behind them at home, he drops 40 points, gets 10 rebounds and 11 assists, but sadly he just has no help against this Thunder team with unlimited options. Russell Westbrook with double-doubles, Steven Adams Adams controlling the paint, Paul George doing what Paul George does. The Thunder blow out Boston in Game 4, 106-98 to take the series up 3-1, and eventually Luka gets eliminated in Game 5 to lose the finals to the OKC Thunder. Luka's first time losing a final series ever. Now, even though the Celtics lost 4-1, the consensus around the league was still that they were going to be able to win the championship the following year, because you got to remember, Gordon Hayward was expected to be the second best option. So now with him coming back the following year and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both gaining finals experience, making them better players, in the 2018-2019 season, this Celtics team was in their final form. They'd finished second in the East, only behind the 69-13 Raptors team. Luka Doncic still a top 3 player in the league. Meanwhile, Jason Tatum, a rising star, he wins most improved player, going from averaging 9 points in the previous season to 21 this year. Luka makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals once again to face this newly formed 1-seed Raptors team led by Kawhi. Sadly, things just didn't click as they would get swept 4-0. Once again, Luka's teammates go missing when it matters the most, clearly shown in Game 4 as Luka dropped 37 points. Meanwhile, his second best teammate was Gordon Hayward with only 13. Doncic, realizing that when it comes down to it, this team will not perform for him when it matters the most, he figured that it was time for a change. So he joins Brooklyn for the 2018-2019 season, along with Kevin Durant and eventually James Harden, to form what looked like the NBA's next dynasty. But things wouldn't really go exactly as planned. This season was basically just Luka and James Harden having a ball hog contest, no chemistry really at all. They got eliminated in the first round by the Bulls, which is just trash. And you'll never guess who won the NBA Finals. Maybe he was the problem the whole time. In the 2021 season, the ball hog trio would kind of get their stuff together, finishing second in the Eastern Conference with a 63-19 record. Luka also winning his third MVP award, averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Brooklyn trio was now looking like the dynasty that everybody thought that they would be, meeting the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, only to get swept by a now seasoned Jason Tatum, who averaged 30 and 8 throughout the series. Once again, the supposed Brooklyn super team comes up short, and once again, Luka's old team, the Celtics, win another championship. Now realizing that this Nets dynasty might not turn out how it should have, the Nets management take action, getting rid of James Harden midway through the season for Ben Simmons, post-confidence by the way. So thoughts about how far this team would go were very iffy. They didn't make it past the first round. So now understanding that this whole Brooklyn thing isn't gonna work out, Luka demands another trade, eventually being traded to Dallas, forming a new duo. Just like how LeBron was the accomplished vet helping him out, Luka is now the accomplished vet helping out rising star Kyrie Irving. This new duo immediately took the league by storm. After only spending a couple months together, they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where they will have to face Nikola Jokic in Denver, the 1 seed. While Denver looked like a better team on paper, the Mavs just had more heart as they would beat them 4-1 after Kyrie dropped 30 in Game 4 and Luka had 30 in Game 5. He once again makes it to the NBA Finals, this time against Trae Young and the Hawks. This was a great series with a lot of history behind it, and you could tell Trae Young and Kyrie both giving it their all, going back and forth. Both players traded for each other on draft night, so whoever won this series showed why their team made the right decision that night, and it all gets decided in a Game 7. It's looking like Dallas is just blowing them out of the water right now. Can Luka get that 4th championship? This might just solidify him as the greatest of all time for real. The game is close, 115-113, 37 seconds left on the clock. Luka tries to force up the shot but misses. Trae cooking up, oh my gosh, gets right past the defender, knocks it down to tie up the game. 10 seconds on the clock. Can Luka Doncic solidify his final championship? He passes the ball over to Culver. Culver shot goes in. Did Culver just solidify Luka's legacy? They gonna have to lock up. 2 seconds on the clock. Trae Young launches it up and it's off. Luka Doncic is now a 4-time NBA champion, winning rings with both Kyrie and LeBron. Wow, I mean, 3 MVPs, 4 championships. Kyrie Irving beats Trae Young in the finals to show that Dallas made the right decision that night. Does this make Luka Doncic the greatest NBA player of all time? No LeBron, so he won a championship without LeBron. That argument is gone. It was just him, Kyrie, and Christian Wood and his shovel. Now, after winning the championship together, Luka and Kyrie look to do it all over again, this time starting from the beginning of the NBA season season all the way to the finals, and they would do just that, dominating the league. Luka averaging 29, 8, and 8. Meanwhile, Kyrie averaging 32 and 8 assists. No one knew how to stop this Dallas duo. The last barrier between them and another ring being the 76ers in the finals, and led by Embiid, they were able to put up a fight. They gave Dallas a challenge, forcing the game 7, and now here we are, 1 second on the clock, 135 to 132. Everybody standing on their feet. Can Dallas knock down a game winner? No, they can't. The Philadelphia 76ers knock off Luka and the Dallas Mavericks to win the 2024 NBA championship. And there it is. If Luka Doncic was in Kyrie's shoes, he would end up being a 4-time NBA champion and 3-time MVP. How do y'all think that this will turn out in real life? Obviously, this is just what 2K think. Maybe it'll be completely different in real life. I definitely do think that that duo of LeBron and Luka would do some crazy things, and Luka and a young Kyrie would be different. Let me know what else y'all want to see like this. Until next time, I'm out of this thing. Peace.